All right, time now for our financial focus, and analyst Steve Budin joins me now. And Steve, today we're talking about tax day. A whole lot of people getting some money, a whole lot of people upset because they have to pay some money, right?
Right, just depends on who you are, right?
Yeah.
Between the weekend and a holiday today, actually tax deadline is tomorrow. So if you haven't filed your taxes yet, at a minimum you should contact somebody to file an extension. Now if you owe money, you still owe it as of tomorrow, but you can file an extension on your return, and you may pay some interest, but you have to do something by midnight tomorrow.
And you were telling me, I was surprised by this, about the size of the average refund here. It's a nice little check.
Yeah, it's about $2,800, and what that tells me is that a lot of folks are over withholding, because your refund is really nothing more than a return of your money. So during the course of the year, you've had your withholdings on your paycheck. That is money in your pocket, or it should be in your pocket, versus the government's pocket for the year. So if there's a way for you to adjust that, you might want to consider that.
And now people on the other side who are paying, you were saying before also, there's a reason why tax day and election day are about 6 months apart.
We talked about this on the air, and I always thought an interesting thing about the calendar is, why is election day in November and tax day in April?
Right.
If they move those closer together, I bet you'd see some tax reform real fast.
Yeah. All right, moving on now. TV writer's strike. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Could impact a lot of shows out there.
Yeah, set your DVRs, catch up. As of May 2nd, potentially there could be a TV writer strike. Most of the network shows, it doesn't necessarily apply to Amazon or Facebook, but therein lies the issue. As the technology has changed, a lot of these contracts haven't kept up, and the TV writers who have been writing for TV networks are missing out, in their opinion, on residual income, because you now can watch TV shows 5, 10, 15 years after they're done, real easily. And a lot of these writers don't get compensated for that.
Yeah, and those were a big part of their paychecks.
That's right.
When the show hit reruns, that was it. That was the bonanza for anyone sort of associated with that show. And now it's streaming services, maybe not so much. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Amazon and Facebook usually own the and Netflix own the global rights to the shows. They're not giving the writers the residuals across the globe like a lot of the networks were in the past.
All right, speaking of technology changing things, we're seeing it now with the whole United debacle. People with their cell phones, they're recording, they're watching, but you're saying this is an example of the free market at work.
Yeah, I think this is a great example of letting the market fix a problem versus the government. You had obviously a lot of problems with United last week. Everybody now is their own videographer. They can take this information, post it on the internet, and the companies have no choice but to respond instantly. You can't wait for the government to take 2 years to come out with new regulations on this stuff. But you noticed after the United issue, Delta came out over the weekend and said, we're going to raise our bumping prices to up to $10,000. Without that cell phone information, they're not doing that. And you're seeing that with other situations, with other companies as well. So in my opinion, this is great. Let the free market adjust. You don't need Congress telling us what the ceiling is on bumping prices. If it's going to take 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 to get me off that plane, let the market work. Right,
and of course anyone who watched that video looked at it and said, this is a problem. I don't care what happened before, after, that shouldn't happen.
That's right. And for an extra $300-400, I bet you would have got somebody off that plane. Without those cell phones, though, nobody would have seen that, and policies would have gone on the way they were.
All right, interesting stuff. Great breakdown as always, Steve Budin. Thank you so much for your time.